We're less than 4 hours away from the start of the 129th Penn Relays at Franklin Field. Thousands of talented track and field athletes are ready to compete.
Yeah, this is always a fun time of year. CBS News Philadelphia's Wakisha Bailey, she's on the field, on the track at Franklin Field at the University of Pennsylvania this morning with a preview of the event. And already, Wakisha, it sounds like there's a little buzz out there this morning.
Yeah, it really is. You know, Janelle, Jim, it is, first off, it's absolutely beautiful out here. I think it's great running weather, but more importantly, that this is a very diverse event. Joining us this morning is Executive Director Scott Ward. Scott, it's great to see you again this morning. I know you have a long day ahead of you, but talk to us a little bit about how this historic event, what it means to today's runners.
Yeah, I think you know, it's the 129th running of the Penn Relays presented by Toyota, and the fact that this is an event, it's the oldest and largest track and field event in the United States, for it to be going on since 1895 in this iconic venue in Franklin Field. There's really not an environment like it anywhere else for these participants. So they'll come in, they see the size, they see the atmosphere, they're going to hear the crowd.
Right.
It's a raucous crowd. They're going to be energized. They don't get a chance like this probably anywhere else, maybe even in their lifetime. So they take a lot of pride in it. They give it their best, and we'll see some fast times, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was some of the questions I want to ask was, what sets the Penn Relays apart from other races?
Well, I think it's the history for the longevity that it's had, and I think what the Penn Relays values is just its openness and its spirit of competition. So you have all levels of ages that are going to compete here this week. You'll have middle schoolers all the way to high school, college, pros, Masters level races. We have racers on Saturday in the Masters division that are over 75 years old.
Wow.
So the competition is crazy, and it's across all levels. So it's really a neat environment.
Okay, so soon this stadium, in just a matter of hours, it's going to be packed. How many people are we looking at? And for a lot of the people that are here, what can they do in between the races?
Sure. So we have over 15,000 participants over the 3 days each day, and then we get crowds upward into the 30,000s on Saturday. So here in this small city block, it's a lot of people, but in this iconic stadium, it's pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of going on in the track, but there's a lot of things going on outside the stadium as well. So we have a carnival village. So in that, there's a lot of vendors, a lot of sponsors, food, beverage, entertainment, music, DJs.
Yeah.
So it's a true carnival, and it's a great party.
Yeah, I was just going to say it is definitely a party. And I mean, Scott, this weather is amazing right now. Any part of the race that you still get excited about or sends you chills?
I think it's just the spirit of competition. So we're one of the best middle distance programs or competitions for college athletics, college track and field. We have some great teams. Texas A&M is ranked #1 on the men and women's side. They're sending a big contingent. So just the thrill of the competition is great to watch.
Okay, well, thanks so much for being with us. I know you've got a long day ahead of you. And, you know, this isn't about me, you guys, but you do know I did run some track back in the day. Matter of fact, I did the hurdles, 400 hurdles, that is. Now, I'm not going to try that today, though. I'm just going to let you know.
Why
Did you
not?
guys run in high school?
Only if someone was
What do you mean, why
chasing
not?
me. So why don't you do a lap or two for us?
You want me to do a lap now?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You got
All right.
Jim,
Sending
please,
it back
leave
to
the
you.
poor lady alone.
Check out that
Oh,
strut.
gosh. All right, Wakisha, we'll see you. Be careful with the hurdles.
She's trained for the Broad Street run. This is good,
All
workout
right,
for her.
all right.
Good morning, Jim, Janelle. You know, it is such a beautiful morning, at least for the start of the race before it gets a lot warmer today. But joining us to talk about how historic this event is and diverse as well as Scott Dolan, Director of Penn Relays. How are you today?
Great. Thanks for having me. We're excited. 129th running of the Penn Relays. Here we go.
Yeah, you know, and speaking of 129 years, how do you honor keeping it historic, the traditions, but also bringing it to the future?
Well, it started in 1895 as the college relay meet, so we still feature those college relays as a key part of the meet, but it's grown to what it is today. It's known as the Penn Relays Carnival, and the carnival is the whole atmosphere in the stadium. It's Carnival Village outside, and it's competition for all ages, youth, high school, college, of course, right? Masters runners and professionals all on one stage. It's going to be an exciting day and an exciting 3 days.
Now, just being here from last year and previous years, it's such a sense of community. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, we're really proud here to be a part of Philadelphia and to host this great world-class event, right? The whole world's got their eyes on Philadelphia this weekend as runners from all over the world come. It's an international affair, both the professional athletes from all over the country, all over the world, and at the high school level from Jamaica. We have teams here from the UK. There's 28 countries represented coming to Philadelphia.
Oh my gosh. And being an athlete yourself and a runner, what do you think some of these runners are going through their minds this morning?
Well, it's a combination of excitement and nervousness, right? They know it's going to be a big stage and a big crowd, so they're super excited about that, but they're also a little nervous because it's big competition and a big opportunity. But that all comes out in the competition. The crowd responds to it all day long.
Yeah, and speaking of that crowd, what can they do in between the races?
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun in and out of the stadiums I mentioned. So in the stadium over the span of 3 days, we think we'll have 100,000 people come through the Franklin Field. So it's quite a happening. And over 18,000 athletes will compete. When they're not competing, they go out to Carnival Village. There'll be a DJ, there'll be vendors. It'll be quite a celebration.
Yeah. Anything different from last year or any new future elements?
Things are pretty similar to the last couple of years. I think we did a lot of new things coming off of COVID to make some adjustments, try to improve the schedule and the experience. And a couple new things. We have a special Olympic shot put this year that's a new add to our program. And just really a great turnout. The entries are up in all divisions, so it's going to be a huge Penn Relays.
Okay, and as an athlete yourself, any part of this relay still gives you like the chills? You get excited about the event?
Well, I always in my mind feel like I could get out there and compete, but then I realize that I probably can't. But I love watching all the athletes compete, and I love it. I love the response of the crowd. Right? It doesn't really matter if it's a youth event or a professional event. If it's good competition, the crowd responds, and that's what's special about the day. Okay, well, you got a long day ahead of you. Thank you for being with us. Now the gates open at 8 o'clock, and the races kick off at 9 a.m. And I'm like you. I was an athlete too. I was an athlete. Have you ran the track yet? Oh, yeah, I run from time to time, but only when people aren't watching. I do it on my own time. Okay, so Jim, that means you cannot ask us to run again.
Smart man. He says, I'm not doing that on live TV. He's not falling, not taking the bait.
And Relays kicks off just under 2 hours. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Wakisha Bailey is live at Franklin Field, the University of Pennsylvania, this morning with a preview of the big event. Good morning, Wakisha.
Yeah, good morning, Jim. Well, you know what? The countdown is really on as we're just a couple of hours away before we start seeing some runners come on into the building and, compete for such an iconic race. So joining us this morning is Aaron Robinson. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, so as an athlete yourself, what's going through some of these runners' minds?
Just a level of anxiousness, right? I mean, for all of these athletes, this will be the largest stage they ever run on. I mean, with the rare exception of a kid maybe that runs in the Olympic Games, but this will be the largest crowd, this will be the largest stadium, the largest level of competition, all those things. So, I mean, obviously they're going to be anxious. They're going to be very eager to get on the track and get those nerves to go away.
Right. So 129-year tradition. I mean, how do you keep it relevant to today's time and still honor the history of Franklin Field?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of Penn in a nutshell, right? I mean, one of the oldest institutions in the world, and they continue to innovate and continue to, break new ground. And we try to do the same thing with the Penn Relays. Started in 1895, and we honor many of those same traditions. We honor those traditions by being here in Franklin Field and the historic look of it. And then we continue to innovate and think, how can we continue to make this better? How can we continue to make this relevant for the athlete in 2025 and the schools in 2025? And so, I mean, it's a balancing act, right? Like anytime we make a change, everyone's resistant to change. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in. And so we just have to be very, very deliberate and think through those things. But over the last few years, we've made some really good changes that, have ended up making the meet, continue to thrive. And we're in a really good place this year.
Okay, so gates open at 8 o'clock. Races start at 9. Who's up first?
The high school boys 4x8 prelim will be up first, and then that will be followed by the middle school 4x1s, and then the high school boys 4x1s. And that will take us into the afternoon. Just on the high school boys side in the 4x1, we have over 750 teams. This year we'll end up with about 17,000 competitors from 28 different countries. So it is a world event right here in Philadelphia.
So were you a track athlete in high school?
I ran in high school and in college.
Oh, you ran both. Okay, so what events did you run?
I was mid-distance, 1,500, and I was very mediocre.
Listen, I ran the 4x4 hurdles, 4x800, and of course the 800. So I wasn't too bad.
Oh, your coach didn't like you very much then. Those are the four most difficult events. So.
No, and you know what, you guys? As we're sending it back to you, I remember like coming out here, and we had a boom box back then. I mean, remember like a boom box with the music? Mine was like, you know, Lauryn Hill, Ready or Not, Here I Come. Did you have any music?
I mean, they were all on my headphones because nobody else wanted to hear what was on my CD player.
All right, well, it's definitely got to be a party, and tickets are still available. Jim, Janelle?
I would have gone with Chariots of Fire for my music. You know, old school.
Okay. I love that.
Thank you, Wakisha.